Do you think Jon Jones would have been better in his UFC career if he came out of the closet early on? No, he needed the self-resentment to push him harder in the training. You know what I'm saying? He needed that level of self-hate because that drove him. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, chat, training for a fight camp is self-harm. Don't you think? You're putting yourself in a ring with someone you know is going to beat up on you, that knows a bad matchup for you in the gym. You're bringing in a new guy every round. It is a sense of self-harm. So I think he needed that self-hatred to power him in his training camps. Thank you for the $10. I've already read that. Boxing has been fun, added mix to UFC this year. Fun added mix to UFC. Yeah, boxing's had its moments this year, dude. And it's had its MMA fighters of boxing like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is the MMA fighter of boxing. I truly think that as well. He's the guy that represents MMA on the world stage in boxing. Like, I honestly believe, chat, I'm just going to say it right now. You know how some people think lightweight's the best division on the planet? If Porier wins, it isn't. I'll be honest with you. It just isn't. It'd be fun. It'd be crazy. It'd be more to talk about. But that would definitely lower its stock as a division. You can't allow Porier to be the champion of the esteemed division in the UFC. It just doesn't make any sense. So that would ruin its stock a little bit. Actually, the division stock would lower if Porier won. Even if you think star power-wise, he'd be a bigger name. Which I don't even think he would be either, because Makhachev does pull good numbers from these inbred cliff dwellers. Millions of them. Enough talk, dance for us, boy. No, that's on the members stream. Thoughts on Conor calling Dagestani's cousin fuckers? Hey, dude, McGregor's based. If anyone would have put MMA Guru in that chat, I bet you he would have said he was a big fan. Bet you anything. Thank you for the $5. Benoit getting a staff is the worst thing to happen to lightweight since 280. Now people will say Islam is so good for beating Dustin. Yeah, because Benoit was beating the fucking piss out of him, dude. I watched back that fight on YouTube. And I'm going to say it openly right now, dude. Benoit Saint Denis was one-way traffic beating the piss out of Dustin Poirier in that fight, dude. Taking him down, getting dominant position, trying this, trying that. He was fucking dominating that fight until round 2. That's not a casual take, dude. He started to slow down and he lost. I get it. And there was a couple guillotines of Porier that was close. He was dominating that fight. Chat, round 1 was a one-sided round for Benoit Saint Denis. Porier won. It's not cope. Porier won. He proved he was the better fighter and he rode out the storm and he won. I'm going to be real with you, though. Benoit was walking him down and beating the piss out of him in round 1. And I don't like that for a fight with Makhachev, dude. I do not like that. Benoit walked him down looking amateurish as well with like bad boxing defense, which eventually made him pay in round 2. And his cardio started to dip as well in round 2, which could have been the staff, probably was, but it probably would happen in round 3. It didn't look like he had the ability to finish Porier, so it would have happened eventually. But he was fucking beating the piss out of him, dude. Destroying him. Porier had nothing. So I feel like Makhachev's going to be able to dominate as well. I'm worried about Porier, dude. He has a great future. If he can work on his cardio, then yeah, he does have a great future. It's not European cope, dude. That's not European cope. Porier won the fight. He TKO'd Benoit Saint Denis. I completely understand. But he was getting one-way traffic dominated by Benoit Saint Denis. People just act like that never happened. So I'm worried about him in the Makhachev fight. I'm talking about this when it comes to the Makhachev fight. That's all. Porier was closer to get a finish in the first round. Not really, no. The guillotine, not really. Dustin fluked it against Benoit Saint Denis. I really think he'll get graped by Islam, unfortunately. That's aggressive. Thanks for that, mate. Dustin Poirier versus Conor for the lightweight title if they both win. He didn't fluke it against Benoit Saint Denis, dude. He rode out the storm and he beat him in the later round. But if he didn't have staph infection, he could have maybe kept it up a bit longer. However, yeah, it wasn't entirely cardio that made Benoit lose. Like, it wasn't like, man, if Benoit had more push in this round, he would have survived till the bell. Like, no, he did get cracked right on the chin because he does leave his hands down as he closes the distance. That's actually why I picked Frivola to beat him. So I don't know why I didn't end up picking Porier to beat him, because I noticed exactly the same thing. But it was just, I guess, the grappling difference, right? Poirier's no fucking hips getting taken down. DP versus Conor for lightweight title if they both win. Yeah, they'll probably do that bullshit. Don't donate much, but want to say I've been watching for like 5 years and the growth is insane. God bless you, brother. You definitely deserve it, brother. Thank you for the £5, Fudge. I really appreciate that. We got 2,800 viewers here. What's up? Thank you for the £5, Fudge. Appreciate that. We'll stay live a bit longer. Keep this camera angle for all videos, bro. I've changed nothing but a light being on above and behind me. I've genuinely not changed the camera angle at all. True or false, you actually like Islam and Khabib? I don't mind them at all. I think they're I think they're based. Like, I like Muslim beliefs. I'll be honest with you guys. I think they're some good based beliefs. There's some other things that are wrong about it, of course, like lack of being able to criticize it that can lead to a totalitarian regime in a country that people should watch out for. But either way, I like them. I just think their fans are retards, and most of them threaten my family and myself online, and no other fan base does. I can go at the Jon Jones, Israel Adesanya fan base, nothing like that. Any other fan base. But these people are like monsters, so I don't like their fan base at all. Thank you very much, Steve Riley, the guy that called out Adesanya at the Whitaker press conference in Australia back in the day. Thank you for the $10, Liam C. Dustin has underrated knees in the pocket. As you pointed out, he was setting him up against Gaethje. Islam often dips his head down on a pretty straight line when looking for a single. But it's a very quick shot that he takes. He doesn't really run through the single leg, like trying to sort of rally to their legs. I know what you mean, though. He could knee him in the face because he shoots the takedown. It's a pretty generic take. I would argue, that Dustin's knees up the middle, chat, yes or no, Dustin Poirier's knees up the middle are him like attempting body kicks and high kicks, but he can't do it. Am I wrong in saying that? He doesn't throw knees, really. Like him throwing those, when you see a knee land on like Gaethje as he's covered up, it's like him trying to use a body kick or a head kick and it just comes up way up the middle and he ends up landing with his knee because he can't rotate his hip. Exactly, yeah. Ali Shukri knows about his injury. He can't actually rotate his hip because he had a hip injury that pulled him out of the Nate Diaz fight a long time ago, if you remember. He's got old man hips. He's had a hip replacement. People, dude. Dustin Poirier's had a fucking hip replacement, guys. He's not beating Islam Makhachev. I only just realized that on paper. He actually had to have his hip fused or some shit, some plate put into his hip during when he had to pull out the Nate Diaz training camp. And since then, he hasn't been able to kick and doesn't turn his hips. He's always square. It's kind of crazy that he's still winning. It actually is, yeah. It actually is. He's had a fucking hip replacement. He's still fucking winning. Insane. But yeah, he can't turn his hip. You'll never see Porier turn over a kick, ever. Everything will come from a square stance, which leaves him open to double legs the way Dan Hooker received it from Makhachev. Pause. No Jones. Camera upgrade. Can I get put some pep on there now? I don't know if I've used a camera upgrade, but the light behind me and above me is on. So that might be what it is. I just forgot about it. Maybe it's better.